Oh, hello. So today we are going to do a spoiler-filled review of The Mad Ship because I was just doing my wrap-up for the month where I read this, and I gave my kind of like non-spoilery, gushy thoughts about it, but I realized there are just like specific things I want to say, and specific things this is making me think about, and I just want to go balls to the wall, not worried about spoiling anyone. So if you have not read The Mad Ship, and if you have not read the Farseer trilogy, so that would be, oh gosh, Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, Assassin's Quest, and then if you've not read Ship of Magic and The Mad Ship, click off now because, well, I guess if you care about spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, you can just stay tuned. But there were things I wanted to say about this that I loved and wanted to talk to you guys about. So, okay. First thing I'm burning to say is Amber. Amber's the fool, right? Amber has to be the fool because there's been all these illusions, and then Amber had the two freaking skilled fingers that we saw, which we also saw in Assassin's Quest. And I've done a little bit of digging and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Okay, if that is the case, let's assume Amber is the fool. The things that this now says and opens up about gender in this world, I think are so interesting because the fool has presented male in the first trilogy, or we thought of the fool as male, and now Amber is presenting as female. So I think that's super freaking interesting. And I'm into that. Okay, that's like my thing I've been burning to say to someone. In terms of the themes of this book, you guys, so many layers. Sorry, I'm just so excited to finally just go balls to the wall and talk about this without worrying about spoilers. Well, I guess let's continue on this theme of gender in this world, because I think that this book is so much about women trying to find their place within a violent patriarchy. And I feel like we see this from almost every single woman in this story. So Althea is the character I most relate to in these books. I have a soft spot for her. But I love, so basically they're supposed to be, you guys know, they're supposed to be like a son to inherit these live ships. For this family, the sons have died, so it's either Althea or Keffria and her family. Because Althea has not yet married and doesn't have a husband slash sons, whereas Keffria has married and does have sons, we get Kyle fucking Haven in our grill, who is the biggest POS of the series so far. Well, I mean, there's some contention for that. There's some very hateable bad guys in Robin Hobb, but Kyle fucking Haven, I just can't even with. So we get him. So Althea is like fighting back against that by trying to prove that the rules that are in place for her gender are dumb. She's trying to prove herself as a captain. She's trying to prove herself that she is able to control one of these live ships. Just like fan fiction time realm. If I had my way, what would happen is, I guess I don't really know if I think live ships should even continue to be a thing for reasons that we'll get into in a little bit. But if they were going to continue to be a thing, I would want Althea to become the captain of Vivacia, and I would want Brashen to keep being the captain of Paragon, and then they could like have a little live ship, little navy, and then they could, you know, get to getting whenever they needed to, and then we would have two captains going to Pound Town and being married or whatever. I mean, they don't even have to be married, in love. That would be my fan fiction version of what happens for Althea. But I do really love how she characterizes Althea's choice between Greg, and Brashen, and how Greg is not a bad guy. It's not like Greg is another Kyle fucking Haven. He's just conventional. And Althea realizes that she just doesn't want to be a wife in the conventional way. Like, that's not what she wants for herself. She wants to be able to have her dreams, and she wants the person she's with to not get in the way of those dreams. I don't know. I just thought I really related to the way that Robin Hobb unspooled that, and the way that that got resolved, or the way that it's progressing at least, I found really honest and satisfying, and I felt very seen by it. Okay, so we have Althea trying to buck the system. We have Keffria, whatever her name is, Keffria, who has played by all of the rules and is actually trying to be the submissive wife. And she's realizing that maybe that has been a mistake. She's realizing the cost of that decision in this book, and I think we see some growth from her. Then we have Malta, who is, I admit, a bit insufferable, but because she's a literal child, I've never hated her. I've just been like, oh my gosh, she were a lot. But she's also the very logical outcome of a society where women are not allowed to pursue their natural talents and gifts. So she's like, okay, the way for me to exercise any kind of agency and control in this world is for me to play the courting whatever, and to be a flirt, and to be manipulative, and to try to get whatever the fuck I want. And so I'm going to play Serwyn and I'm going to play Rain. I have no pity for them because they're participating in this corrupt system. Now, I don't think she's explicitly doing that, but that is kind of functionally what's happening. And seeing her grow, like she has a glow up, I feel like, in this book, and she's growing. She's a glow up and a grow up. She is maturing, but I really like her as another logical extension of what happens in a violently patriarchal society. Then we have Cirilla. And when I tell you I wept, well, not wept, but I definitely cried when Cirilla, she's trying to follow the rules that has gone along with the whole satrap situation for a long time. But the new satrap is such a violent patriarchal piece of shit. He's not holding up his end of this bargain that we're supposed to make in the patriarchy, where men have this one role and women have this other role, but they complement each other and everybody ends up being protected and whatever. No. He proves that the reason why this doesn't work is because all women are always at the whims of the most violent man around them or the worst man around them. And he literally lets Cirilla be raped because she will not bend to his will. And then the way she just waltzes back, excuse me, tables have turned, motherfucker. Prepare to live in Cirilla's world now. I loved it. And I cried for her, but then I was like, I really like where this is going. I really like how she's fighting for her piece of the pie here. Then we have Vivacia, who I think is a very interesting expression of naive womanhood. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't love Vivacia, but I get her kind of in the same way that I feel about Malta, of like, I don't know that I like you, but like I get it. And then we have Edda, who again is taking her lemons and trying to make some lemonade. I think she's a very interesting character. I'm also shipping her and Wintro, but not because I necessarily like them together romantically, but just like, I think he's who she actually needs. I don't like Kenneth, I've decided. I know everybody, okay, I get that he's freeing slaves and we like that, but I don't know. Robin Hobb, I don't think is an ends justify the means kind of gal, and I just don't have a good feeling about Kenneth because his insides, not good. And his means, not good. So I just don't think that's gonna end well. But I want Edda and Wintro to end up together because I think he's sort of like a cinnamon bun, and I feel like Edda, I think he likes Edda's fieriness. He's not gonna try to tame that down in her, but he, I think, is a better man for her than Kenneth. So anyway, love, I mean, the characterization in general, but generally the theme of like finding your place within violent patriarchal societies, definitely there. The other theme in this is the evils of slavery. Now we could also put everything we've been saying about women and their role in the society kind of under this umbrella of like oppression. Oppression is bad. That seems very facile. I think we can all get on board with that as a concept, but I think she's layering this world in such an interesting way to develop those themes and to show how oppression not only hurts those oppressed, but the oppressors. So we have the literal slave trade-ness of it all and how that has corrupted and ruined, or is in the process of corrupting and ruining different parts of the society. So we definitely have that. Slave trade bad. One of Kenneth's most redeeming qualities is that he's freeing these slaves. Also, Kyle fucking Haven, part of why he is Kyle fucking Haven is because he's on board with all of this. There's the literal themes about what slavery is doing to Bingtown and how it is like a corrupting and corrosive force on the perpetrators of enslavement as well as the people who are enslaved. There's that. But then when we find out about the wizardwood, and the fact that the wizardwood is basically created not innocuously, but it requires the death of these serpents who are dragons. But the fact that that is how that wood is created then gives this whole other context to the live ships themselves and to how they are created and what they are experiencing. What does it mean to own a live ship? Which always was there. I mean, like, you have the sentient being that is then owned by another sentient being. So that was always there. But then learning about how that wood is created and what it is, I just think gives a whole new valence to what is going on and how we're supposed to be feeling about all this. And like Paragon. Okay, Paragon I really love. And he's such an intriguing character because is he truly mad? He's called the Mad Ship. Is he... I don't know. I have some theories about what might be going on with him, but I was explaining them to Leanna and she made me see that maybe I'm just very wrong about that. So I'm gonna like sit tight here. But I'm wondering, well, okay, I'll just tell you. I'm wondering if maybe he has two different woods in him. And that's part, he very definitively says a few times, I am both of these people. And so I'm like, maybe he was repaired with some different wizard wood. And now that we know about what the wizard wood is, well, that would drive you crazy. So I don't know. And he won't confirm or deny the whole rumor about what happened with his family. So I don't know. We're going to keep an eye on Paragon. I really like Paragon. I love Amber. Well, also because of Amber, I am pretty sure being the fool, but their whole relationship I think is very interesting. But Leanna pointed out to me it's called The Mad Ship, and you would think there'd be more of him in this for being called The Mad Ship. But I'm wondering if it's like a comment in general on the madness of creating these ships based on what we find out. I will also say I really liked getting Rain's point of view, and I really liked what we saw in the Rain Wilds. I'm gonna tell you, I've heard that people don't like the Rain Wild Chronicles. I am so interested in everything having to do with that. I do ship him and Malta, I will say. I think they would be good. I think they're good for each other. So I'm interested. I want more basically from the Rain Wilds, and I'm not mad that we have a whole series there. So, but anyway, I really liked getting all of that layering. And then I just feel like we get a lot of, I assume, kind of Easter eggy type things where there's like allusions to things that happened in the Farseer trilogy, which makes me really glad that I read that before I read Live Ship, though I do think you could start with Live Ship. Yeah, anyway, I just really love this book. I'm just gushing about this at this point. So good. One of the best fantasy books I've ever read, and so impressive that I am literally interested in every single thing that is going on in this book. It's also so cool to see Robin Hobb. Her writing is so dense and so character driven and so great. And in the Fitz series, we get to see this very specific skill set from her with characters, which is really deeply immersed in one character's point of view, that being Fitz. But it's so cool to see her do like what I actually like better, which is multi-POV, and still have so much character development and so much depth into what's going on. It's cool to see her flex different muscles and just once again proves, yeah, she's a master. I'm trying to think if there's anyone in modern fantasy whose actual writing I like better, and I don't think there is. I think R.F. Kuang, depending on how she develops as a writer, could get there, but yeah. I don't know, I love the way her actual writing quality and the way she develops her characters is just so above anything else I've read in fantasy that's not like Tolkien. Yeah, I think this is my next favorite fantasy thing after The Lord of the Rings. Watch this space. I might revise that, but in the flush of having just finished this book a couple of days ago, that is definitely how I'm feeling. Anyway, I wanted to just have a spoiler-filled gush about this. I'm sure not very many people are gonna watch this. Anyway, those were my thoughts about this book. Definitely let me know. Now that I've watched a couple of like spoiler-free reviews of this, but now I kind of want to go do a little deep dive and some more spoiler-filled reviews, see if other people are picking up on what I'm picking up on. But anyway, if you've read this book, definitely let me know your thoughts about it in the comments. Keep an eye on me and Leanna's channel. I think that I'm gonna go do a live stream with her once we finish this trilogy and kind of compare and contrast the first two, so keep an eye out for that. She is a fantastic buddy reading partner on this project. Very glad that I have her as my co-pilot to help like sanity check me when I feel like I'm getting lost in the morass of all the details that are going on. Anyway, check out her coverage of this as well. But yeah, that will do it for this impromptu review. Yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below, and I think that will do it. I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day today, and I will just talk to you soon. Bye!